Most AI tools can copy a bit, but they miss the soul. Today, we're looking at a platform that actually understands the heartbeat of African culture. Welcome to Techni Fire. I am Dakmo Aruwa Joy. Two young Nigerians have built a revolutionary platform that bypasses expensive recording studios, allowing creators and filmmakers to generate high-quality tracks using AI. The best part, it actually retains the authentic African rhythm. Right after the break, we'll meet the mastermind behind Africa's first AI-powered music lab. First, let's head to the newsroom for your global tech update. Stay tuned.
The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has officially recognized Nigeria as a leading African AI economy, driven by its rising rank on the Global Index on Responsible AI and expanded digital infrastructure. African telecom ministers have adopted the 2026 Abuja Declaration, establishing tech-neutral regulations across mobile, fiber, and satellite networks to slash data cost continent-wide. The African Development Bank has approved major funding for Goshen Power, Morocco's 240 million euros plant, targeting 100 gigawatt-hour capacity to anchor Africa's electric vehicle battery supply chain. South Korea, Nvidia, and OpenAI have partnered on a $950 billion roadmap featuring massive HBM memory supply deals and 5 gigawatt AI data centers. European antitrust regulators have directed Google to share core search data and open Android app bundle integrations. Amazon has reached a milestone in warehouse automation, now operating over 1 million autonomous industrial robots globally. Bloomberg has reported that Apple's displayless audio AI-focused smart glasses, codenamed N50, will preview in mid-2027 with strict on-device privacy protections. Software teams are shifting to intent-driven platforms where developers set broad goals and autonomous AI agents write and maintain code. Automotive manufacturers have deployed Panasonic Tower's robotic welding systems with automated quality controls for electric vehicle assembly lines.
Welcome back. Our guest today is redefining global music tech. He is the founder of KorinAI, a platform making waves by training custom music model on African vocal data, dialects, and folklore. From Afrobeats and Amapiano to high life in local languages, his ecosystem helps creators turn ideas into legally protected, monetizable soundtracks. Please welcome the founder of KorinAI, Philip Olajide. Good to have you, Philip.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Let's get to meet you, Philip. Who's Philip?
So Philip is a software developer, an AI expert, and a music technologist. And I've been doing this for past 10 years now.
Tell us about KorinAI.
So KorinAI is Africa's first AI music lab. And we are the first doing this in Africa. I remember in 2024, precisely in July, I was actually working on a project. I wanted to produce a sound, but I needed that sound in African production. So I reached out to some couple of studios and producers. So the amount of bills they were actually charging were too much compared to what I wanted to do. And I felt like in this world of AI, we should be able to get this thing done affordable and faster. So I started doing my research online to see if I can get something. Fortunately, I was able to get some AI tools, but they were all trained or designed for Western music. So when I started sampling some of them, I was trying to put Yoruba and the white man was trying to sing it. It was very annoying. And I felt like, come on, why did they have to do that? Does it mean that they actually omitted African data set in the training? And I said, this is a real problem. My question I asked that, why is there no one is solving this problem? He said that it's not a concern. So I said, since no one is solving it, with my experience in software engineering and AI, I'm going to solve this problem. That was what bet KorinAI in 2024. I belong to a group of founders community, so I reached out to them that I can create their jingles for their startup. So I did about 20 POC, that's proof of concept. And some of them thought probably I recorded it in studio, but I didn't actually tell them what I did because I actually trained that. I used the company's data instruction to understand that. And I was like, wow. So actually what this guy created will actually do more if I actually put more. So I started gathering data. And in December 2024, I participated in an hackathon in Australia, and my team came third. So and now there's a need that, come on, this actually has a need. There is actually this. And so that's why we started pushing KorinAI. So 2025, we came into stream by actually doing that production. So that's all about KorinAI. We came to light.
Who is we now? Where is the we?
So myself, and my co-founder, right? So when I started, it was just me. That was between 2024 till December. So in January, I had to bring Solomon, which we both worked together in my former startup. That was in 2021. So from then, I and Solomon have been on the journey.
You produced your second album with AI. Tell us about that.
All right. So when I was working on my album, I was looking at if I'm actually going to convince people that AI can actually do your work. Because most of us, we are creative, we are human with creativities. Sometimes you might be in your kitchen, you are writing, you are just singing some song, and you wish that you can just get into studio and get those songs recorded. But you look at the cost, you look at the time, you don't have it. So I also want to prove to people that in this world today, you can actually create your full album without having physically been in the studio. So I said, okay, I'm going to do my first album was released in 2004, right? 2014, I mean. So I said, this one, I'm not going to go to studio. I'm actually going to do it with AI. So all of the production, from the writing of the songs to the editing, the mastering, and all of that was completely done with AI. And I did it in, I think, about 4 days, right? The whole full album is about 12 tracks, right? So that was what the album is about.
So why is it that these Western AI tools, they struggle to get the rhythm, to get the feeling of the Afrobeats, Amapiano songs produced?
You see, this question we keep asking because they look at market that they can actually tap their money back, right? So when they were actually creating all of those AI tools, they were looking at markets that has they're looking at, countries and continent that has the markets that they can just tap in and reap their money back. But one thing that most people don't know is that Africa is emerging, and you may not be able to reap all the profits in Africa, right? So some of them felt like we don't have the ready-made market for this right now. So that's why they focus on Western music. But for me and for other guys, we are more concerned about preservation, because if you look at the advance and evolution of technology, you always discover that Africa is always at the back burner because someone refused to wake up, someone refused to jump on it, right? So when I saw that these guys were naturally coming in for Africa, I said, well, it may not be profitable for us. We want to preserve the Africa culture and heritage in the data set, because AI is going to become mainstream by 2030. Mainstream in the sense that all of us are going to be using AI for everything in our lives. So virtually means that if by that time you don't have AI that speaks Yoruba, that sings Yoruba, that can do things in African language, it means we'll be forced to use whatever they have at that time. So we are this right now, we may not be making profit. As a matter of fact, we're not making profit. They started making profit because the market is there. So we actually want to preserve the Africa culture and heritage in the large language model, right? And this gave us an award in Austria. I was in Austria in May, and this was the World Summit. I was like, wow, yeah, you are doing something different. You're not looking at the profitability, you're looking at the preservation of the African culture and the heritage. Because I can tell you for free that by the time 2030 comes here, your son want to create a better song for you. He's not going to go to a studio. He's going to do it right on his phone. Your daughter is not going to go to anywhere studio to create a song for you. He's going to do it right on his tab, just the way they read books on their phone today. Early those days, people go to bookshops to read books. But right now, they finish the whole books on their phone. That's the same thing that's going to happen to AI. So we are more concerned about the preservation of those Africa, by that time, we'll be much into profit.
Africa vocal data is distinct. So how did you train your model to understand that distinct Africa, like Amapiano and Afrobeats?
Okay, so the training is ongoing, right? It's not a one-time thing because your AI is as good as the data you feed into it. But for a start for us, what we did was that we sample some data. Like I sing, I have a couple of friends that sings, and we actually reach out to some couple of producers, some partnership with some studio like Mid Vision in Lekki. They give us some of their data, right? So we use some of this data to train our AI, the machine, to just learn some patterns and all of that. So basically, that is how we go about, and we sample some data, which are some free copyright online. Yeah.
So how does it understand tonal languages like Yoruba?
It's pretty simple. So AI learn from patterns. So just like when you're teaching your son or your daughter to learn A, B, C, right? They are in just separate alphabets. But by the time the child starts growing, it can put A and T together, it becomes at. All right. As it grows, begin to add another T, become ata. AI learns in that pattern. So A, B, D, E, F, G. It learns those patterns. And when another data is added to it, it understands that this sounds this. So that's how AI learns. It keeps learning those data. So if we give the AI a complete data of a song, we've already labeled it in our training process. We have what is called the data annotations, and where you do separation and label data. So we label it according, like, oh, this is Afrobeats, this Afro Juju. We label it and you understand that. So when a sample of that song is added to the data set, it learns from the pattern that this sounds like Afrobeat. It learns the time signature. It learns the genres. It learns the beats. It learns everything based on the notations that has been given at the data separation and labeling.
How does a non-technical creator, does it turn a prompt into mastered vocal masterpiece?
So just like when you use every other AI tools, so someone that is not tech savvy or just a normal user, all you need to do is just to write a song in a plain English. You put in your song there, all right? So the song is a prompt. The AI understands it as a prompt. It will surprise you that no matter how you write your song, the AI understands where your song is actually leading to. And the reason is that we've actually fed the AI with a lot of data that has those samples of songs, like love songs, new song. When I was in university, I used to do new song like Asha, I play my guitar. So we've trained the AI to understand songs that sounds like neo soul, right? Afro souls, Afro beats. So when you write a song, it understands this song is tilting towards this. Especially if you now understand music detailed, all right? The AI can actually help you do it in such a way that it can give you a detailed part of it. For instance, in our prompt, you can actually select the genre. So we have a list of genres across Africa, Afrobeat, Afro soul, and all of that. So when you put in there, the AI just know that this song is Afrobeat. And it's going to pick your drum, your keyboard, your instrumentation, everything, and sounds. Remember, it has learned from other patterns and samples of songs. So it understands that it doesn't need to do that at all.
So the process is you sign in and from there?
So for a user, you sign up. When you sign up, of course, create an account. And when you create an account, you log in. So you want to probably test the platform out. We give you a free credit to just test the sample, right? But remember, you don't own the song. When you use our free version, you don't own the song. We own the copyright. So even if the song you create is good, you don't have right over it. The company owns the song. So if you want to test the song, we always encourage you to pay for the subscription, which is $10. That's like 14,000 thereabouts. And you put in your prompt. There is a place to put in your prompt, and the song begin to generate for you. In less than 3 minutes, the whole song is fully done.
You call yourself a culture preservationist. Do you think AI is not going to dilute our culture?
No. As a matter of fact, it's preserving it. So if I ask you, or if you ask your son, he might not remember some of the foxlogs that we used to sing when we were young, when our grandma used to sing to us, at moon nights, later at night. So what AI does is that it's preserving those things. If by tomorrow, one of them want to create that because we have already trained the AI on those things, it can actually recreate it. But come to think about that, if by 2030, those things were not there, some of our children will not remember those things ever exist. They will never, because AI is going to be a mainstream. And what becomes mainstream is that that's what we use every day. So they will never remember there is something called Google that they can go and search. Yeah.
But studio engineers fear AI will take their job. Are they right?
Well, on the contrary, it's not true. It's only, AI in every industry, that's how everybody, put the narration. If you don't leverage AI, people that leverage AI will take your job. That's the way it works. So let me give you a quick example. Like a young person around 17 and a studio engineer that said, oh, I can't use AI to produce my song, all of that. The young boy learned how to use AI from the old start to the end. And within his school, he's able to tell his friends, I can get your song production done quickly and faster. Remember, he's not a full-time producer, but because he has learned to use that tool, it's giving him quick advantage over other people. And young people want something done quickly and faster. So the engineer that said he's not going to use that, he will still be there. But jobs that should come to him often will not go to that young guy because the guy is leveraging AI to get things done. And people these days don't even care whatever the outcome is. On Spotify, on Apple Music, some of the songs listening to are mostly generated by AI because the algorithm pushes song to you that you don't even know. Because today, if you don't have detailed listening here, you will not be able to differentiate between AI-generated song and human song. It's only someone that is experienced in AI that can actually know the difference. Because there is a little pattern you will have to listen to over and over to know that this is AI-generated. But on a norm, you will not know.
What about the artists themselves, the musicians? Yeah. Will AI take their job?
A version that we're working on, Korin 2.0, will allow you to be able to upload your voice, and the AI will use your voice to produce the song. So it sounds exactly like you. You write your lyrics, you upload your vocal, the AI learns from your voice and use your voice texture to produce the song for you. So it's not a problem for you. What it has done for you is that what takes you 2 weeks to do is now done within 2 or 3 days, right? And at an affordable price. You still have the same outcome. And you own your 100% copyright. So this one is not like someone owns the master copy, someone owns the beats, you own the copyright.
So you're saying if I generate songs on KorinAI, I own the copyright?
If you're on subscription.
So if I'm not on subscription?
You don't own anything. Yeah, because you're a free subscriber.
So if I use that song on YouTube, what happens?
We will flag it. If you monetize it, if you use on YouTube for nothing, but if you monetize it, we will flag it because it belongs to us. Okay,
KorinAI just won United Nations Aligned World Summit Award. Is that not a win for Africa? Africa built AI?
Yeah, it is a win because our company was the only one selected in Nigeria, right, in the category where we actually selected cultural and heritage, which is very peculiar to us because that's what we're doing at KorinAI. Yeah.
So how was it? Tell me about the whole...
Yeah, it was a beautiful time because I remember when I was in Vienna, most of the conversation was around how AI can preserve Africa's work. Because most people today, what they are more concerned about is the profit they want to make from it. But most people are not concentrating around the preservation of Africa. And you see, Western world, they are always on top of things. They know how to keep things, how to preserve. When I was in Vienna, I saw some buildings that were built 1976, and they were new as if they were just constructed yesterday. That is a preservation. But in Africa, we have challenge with that. So we are saying that with AI today, we want to be able to preserve it. And that's what gave us the award. It's not because we are the best AI tool. No, we are doing something that is different, preserving African culture, leveraging AI, basically. And in this one has to do with music, sound, and all of that.
For someone now that is listening, that think, okay, I can make money from monetization of music. So take us through the process. How can someone make money?
Pretty simple. For someone that wants to start making money with music and leveraging AI, all you need to do is to get onto KorinAI. When you sign up, ensure that you are paying for the subscription. Don't try to use a free version. And the reason is that sometimes we've had users, like a subscriber from Cameroon, right, subscribed, I think 2 days ago, right? This guy has been following us for more than a month, right? But he said the reason why he doesn't want to use the free version is because he had used our free version previously. The song that he created is so much like the song that he regretted using the free version. So he said he's not going to use that free version. He'd rather he pay for, because we can't tell. AI is not perfect. AI can give you a song that you will blow your mind. And you'll be like, I wish I did this on subscription. So if you want to create a full album, 100 songs, right? Within the 100 songs, you'll have at least perfect songs that you can actually have on your album. With this, you can now upload to any DSP that will push your song to Spotify and Apple. And pretty much you start making money. You can monetize on TikTok. You can monetize it across, depends on what use cases the song is being used for. But if you're going to make money with AI, you just have to use the subscription. That's the best way to make money from it so that you don't get flagged by copyright.
So how does your platform prevent deepfakes of artists like Burna Boy, Davido, or Wizkid?
So anytime you put in not only voice, even their lyrics, at early stage when AI music started, that was actually allowed because there were no prevention around that. And that was why someone, I think in US, created a song with Jay-Z voice, and the song was streamed for 20 million before they now realized it was not Jay-Z. So, but right now, if you put Davido's lyrics, to even try to use your phone to record his voice and now upload, AI is so good that it can recognize even just 2 seconds of Davido's voice. It recognizes and is going to say, we do not. Another thing is that even if you sample and said, let this song sound like Davido, when you put that Davido, it's going to flag it.
You were part of the NVIDIA Inception program. Yeah. So what did you take from that also?
So, we applied for the NVIDIA program, right, which was a program that supports startups in Africa and around the world. And so we're selected as one of the startups that's actually, so we got in some stuff like credit, some stuff that actually help us to push what we're doing. That's what the program is all about. It's more of us supporting Startup Africa building AI, especially AI, building something in AI, yeah.
High cost of data and power challenges. That's part of the challenges we have around there. So are you making these, your tools accessible for everyday creators?
Well, for users, nothing much consuming when it comes to data because you use that for your day-to-day activity on your phone. So it doesn't consume data as much. If you browse on Facebook and other platform, it's the same amount of data that is being consumed. So just maybe when you want to download your song, it's pretty, and the MP3 versions are always between 3 megabytes and most 5 megabytes. That's if you're doing beyond 3 minutes, 5-minute songs.
In the next few years, where should we find you, or where do you think you're going to be?
Absolutely. Yeah, so KorinAI, in the next 5 years, we are looking to see KorinAI as a go-to platform for anyone around the world who want to create African song. You're looking to create it. We're talking to some PhD people, I think last week, and the guy said that in one of their research, that one of the things they found missing is that African AI music is yet to be tapped. So we are telling them that in the next 5 years, KorinAI becomes a go-to platform for anyone around the world. You want to create a song in African dialects, KorinAI becomes that platform. It's our big dream. That's because right now, our focus is to get that done. And also in the next 5 years, we're looking at where AI become mainstream, have millions of users generating song on our platform. And I didn't tell you that that's our platform. We are also currently working on where you can generate jingles, right? 6 seconds, 1 minute. At our inception, we actually did that. I did that for a couple of startups, but we actually dropped that because we wanted to focus on the music. Right now, we're currently in works that you can actually generate jingles for your product and services without having to pay any voiceover to do that, right? So just put in your script and select how many seconds, 60 seconds, 30 seconds, dialects. And you choose your voice texture. Is it Igbo? Is it Pidgin? All of that. And you choose the energy you want, the pace and all of that. We've actually sampled a lot of things around that, and boom, it's going to get it done.
So, we're talking about sovereign innovation because, MVPs to MVPs, that's our dream also. So we should work together and make Nigeria and Africa great.
We are absolutely available to do that.
Okay, as someone listening to now that's aspiring to be like, I want to step into your shoes, a creator, an innovator, a word of advice for them?
My advice is that every young person should leverage on AI. Don't be afraid whether AI is going to take your job. That's not the beginning. The beginning is that what can I do with AI that can help my work faster and give me better deliverables? That is the goal. Right now, I'm a software developer. I write code almost every day. Some of my works that takes me 3 weeks if I have to deliver a project for a client. In a week right now, I do my jobs and I'm done. And I still collect the same amount of money. So what has done for me has given me enough time to have time for my family. Like this interview today, if I have jobs that is extended, I've declined some interview because I had to meet up with some client's job. But with AI today, I have a lot of time. When I was in Vienna, I did not work on anything because I already finished most of my works. AI helps me to write 60% of my code. So what I do right now is I do design settings, which is that I oversee what the AI is doing to ensure that the codes are clean, to ensure that the output. So those things that I can be building a project that can take me like 6 months, just one project. But right now, that project, in less than 3 weeks, both the front and back end and everything were done. So those times now, we can now use those times to do other things that we have always loved to do. You want to travel, you want to have time for leisure, those things can now be, while your AI is doing your work for you. That's pretty much. So young person should not be afraid. The earlier you jump on it, if you go to developed countries, 16, 17, they are billionaires. Not because this money were there. They leverage AI and they're using to do automations. So why are you now saying it's not going to take your job? It's just the fact that you need to leverage on it to get you do the things you want to do faster, quicker, and in an affordable way. Pretty much. Better. That's it. Better.
Thank you so much, Olajide.
Thank you for having me.
Phillips, Olajide, it's amazing having you in the studio, and I like your passion to develop AI in Africa. Amazing, Philip. So thank you, Philip, for coming on Technify. Incredible insight. Philip is proving that Africa isn't just consuming global tech. We are actively building the future of AI. That's our show today. I keep innovating and keep pushing. I am Dakmo Arua J. See you next time on Techni Fire.